experience dynamics, and it's time for this week's UX Power Up. Today I'd like to talk to you about the topic of adaptive design, and this is a mobile UX kind of approach to design. It is a cousin of responsive web design, if you're paying attention to responsive web design. And just real quick, responsive web design is essentially providing a accessible design that anyone can use regardless of their device. So that regardless of the resolution that they're coming in at, essentially mobile friendly, they're going to be able to see content and media and so forth very nicely on your screen. It's going to look good, it's going to be formatted well, and they're not going to struggle to kind of pinch and zoom and do all that kind of extra legwork. So that's responsive. So the cousin is adaptive design. And adaptive design is just a slight distinction. It's the same kind of philosophy of responsive, which uses the media query to kind of maybe hide or show a video, for example, or a heavy load time, kind of to ease the burden of the user since you know they're on a particular device. So adaptive is like a step further. To me, it's really where the fun begins, because it's where you can strategically start to enhance a user's experience. Let me just give you an example. So if you know based on device that a user is, let's say, walking past Starbucks, you actually know they're within 50 feet of a Starbucks or whatever other establishment might be, then you could give them a mobile coupon based on geolocation, or you could remind them, maybe if you're just trying to do hospitality, you could say, hey, you stayed at the Holiday Inn last week, thanks for being a loyal customer, or whatever the case may be. But you wouldn't do that if you knew that they were at home on their couch. So you can, because you can tell by geolocation that the device is accessing your site from their living room, you might give them a different offer than what they might see if they're actually out on the street next to your store. So that's an example of adaptive design. So it's resolution friendly, but it's also kind of thinking strategically about content. And the three things that adaptive design enhances are context of use. Context of use is one of those very, very key usability attributes that a lot of folks leave out. It's kind of like you're just stuck to figure it out on your own, even if you're in a context that you need support from the interface. Say just at nighttime, that's a context, right? Or you're walking is another context. You're walking down the street, it's dark, and you can't see the text because it's so small, or it's badly lit because it's on a dark background, for example, and it doesn't adjust to you. So one of the things that with the new mobile devices with CSS3, the cascading style sheets, that has really made responsive design possible, is you can, for example, detect the camera on a user's device, and you can say, oh, it's nighttime, so I'll serve them a different style sheet that allows for a much brighter display, right? You might also take that same philosophy of adaptive design a step further and say, oh, gee, I know you're about to check out, and it's a really important conversion, point in the conversion funnel. I'll give you a really big button, so you can actually see it. And so that's thinking adaptive, enhancing the context of use. And the second one is to enhance task interaction. So we're always looking to help users complete their tasks. That's how we measure usability, is successful task completion. So how can you help a user enhance their task? And various ways to do that. I just mentioned an example of making a button much larger. That would be an example that also has a business benefit, because you definitely need a user to convert, so you're going to make it easy for them to actually see it. You might know that they're on a larger device, they have more real estate, an iPad or a Android tablet versus a smartphone, and because you know they're on a larger or smaller real estate, you can do different things with your design and sort of serve them different style sheets that are not only responsive, but that adapt to the task that they're trying to complete. So think of it as like, say the user is trying to check out, and they're trying to check shipping, and they're like, oh, where's the shipping? They've got to navigate to the footer, they've got to find it. Maybe you give them a shipping tool and just say, hey, calculate your shipping here. That's an example of an adaptive approach. The last one then is just to overall enhance the experience. So you can just take a mobile user's content and see what you can do to enhance their experience, just to make it easier for them to interact and access your copy and stay on your site, or do whatever it is that they want to do, enhance their goals, if you will. So just generally enhancing the overall experience for them. There are many creative ways that you could do it if you take an adaptive design approach. So thinking responsive, adaptive, and all inside of a mobile context, enhancing your user experience, that's really what it's all about. I wish you happy UXing. I see you on a future UX Power Up. Thanks, and take care.